kick this off. Wonderful. All right, everybody. Welcome to the Pirate Skills Guide to Analytics on November 7th. Thank you all so much for coming, guys. So we got an interesting horde of people today. Or maybe I shifted the other way around. Yeah, I will do that too.
Dann beginnt auch das Termin, ne?
No. So lots of people joining us today, and this is the perfect point for me to mess up the picture. That's why I do it. So everything is really disturbed. So analytics is my favorite topic. So today I'm presenting. Usually we invite people here to join us to speak, but analytics. We had one meetup before where a nice agency from Cologne did that. I kind of would like to have done it differently. So this is the time where I explain analytics the way I would do it and the way I think for you guys is most helpful. So who of you guys would say that they are a startup or in the beginning stage of a business? Can you raise your hand? Who is like from a bigger company here? And what does the rest do? Who's freelance? What does the rest do? Tell me. Huh? Fassbier. Hartz IV. Okay, I hope this will help you to be either in the startup, the freelance, or the big business category really soon. Because being interested in analytics takes some certain willingness to dive deep into data and to understand. And the way we think about data goes very much along with the user journey that we show at the growth on the growth marketing treasure map, a concept that Jono was really instrumental in creating. And we imagine it like this: we are pirates. Yeah, we drive to a new shore. We try to discover what people really want. And I feel like this river is like the user flow that people take. You first have to acquire them, then you've got to take them over the bridge, you have got to make them activated and use your product. Then you got to keep them. That's what we call retention. You got to ask them for referrals, and then you make some revenue. Yeah, that is what most businesses' customer life cycle looks like. Yeah, and we like to spice it up with a decent bit of analytics up here. And that leads to the treasure down below. Because you need to have this overview. You need to see the whole customer life cycle in order to make a really good decision about where to spend your money, where to spend your time when you do your marketing, where to spend your time when you develop your product. Is this feature actually worth building for all the developers here in the crowd? Who is a developer here in the crowd? Just curious. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, most developers actually are not that much into marketing. But if you have that sense to be a dev and are into data and marketing, that is a unique opportunity to be in at the moment. So seeing this whole journey in your analytics, and this is why I made this as a tower, because it can see like Sauron's eye, like across whole Middle Earth. Yeah, and wherever you bend your attention to, that part of your business will improve. Yeah, your acquisition sucks, you don't have enough users. Oh yeah, come on, let's try some new SEO strategies, Facebook ads, native advertising. People show up, but they don't sign up for your free trial. They don't sign up for the webinar. You have to work on the activation part of your business. Retention means people are not sticking around. I have an app that's called CSGO Skills that has over 800,000 users in the world. Even in North Korea, I don't know how they got to the App Store, but they show up in Google Analytics. But they leave. 90% of them leave every 30 days. That's retention that sucks. Yeah. But who has been here before at one of the Pirate Skills meetup? That is about a third of the room. Yeah, that is the retention rate of the whole life cycle. You haven't been there like the last time and the last time before. That is retention, people coming back. Then referral. Who has ever recommended somebody to come here to this meetup? Guys, I thank you very much, all of you. Thank you very much. Yeah, and then at the end, of course, you need to make some money, and you better earn money than all the shizzle cost you before. Yeah, and here we measure the customer lifetime value if you can. Not only the first purchase, but multiple purchases, their recommendations, their referral, their affiliate commissions. And it cannot cost us more to acquire those customers than we spend on getting them and then delivering the cost of the service. And that is the essence what we track with any analytics tool. It doesn't matter whether you're using Google or Facebook or HubSpot or as I do Intercom, for example. Everything works if you can measure those KPIs. They are called the AARRR metrics. They spell R, seriously. Yeah, not my invention. It comes back to a presentation that Dave McLaurin gave, I think 2007. Yeah, it's still up on SlideShare. It's an incredibly ugly slide deck, which I can hardly just recommend for nostalgia to watch. It's called A Pirate's Guide to the AARRR Metrics or something like that. Yeah. Yeah, it's super fun to see, and he introduced this concept, and that's what we build on. That's our plan for today. Just a quick thing about me. I'm Ben. I'm a founder myself. Yeah, since 2008, while I was studying psychology, I started my first startup, and since then I moved from like B2B consulting to websites, which lots of them I did with my brother Ali in front here. And then I built a ton of apps with a company called Maple Apps, and we did a whole app incubator system. Yeah, we had great funding from a European investor. And after that, I started again my own thing, this meetup. I became a father, and that is now 3 years ago. And now I have 2 sweet daughters at home who are waiting for me to come back. So let's keep on doing that. Let's keep on going. So the idea is to talk about why you should even track your own AARRR metrics, what they are for your business, and you are absolutely free to call bullshit on anything. Yeah, this is a very open and expletive-containing presentation. So please be honest the way back. We're going to dive deep into Google and Facebook analytics because they are now the most used analytics suites for most web-based businesses. Then we have time for Q&A. And after that, some time to get some more beer, eat more popcorn, if there is some, and hopefully get some rum. If there is anybody with a relationship to Captain Morgan, I'm highly interested in working together. So, if you want to get the slides, take a picture of this thing or use your handouts. You all have handouts. Can you show me? Thanks. Where you can freely get the presentation. It's already up there. Yeah, so if you're bored, just go out and watch the live stream later. We always upload the video and the slides for you to really dive deep into them. Ask your questions. If you have any questions, there's my contact data below. Yeah, and we also have something here that is called the community resource. This is a new experiment we are starting. We want to drive more community-driven content, and for that reason, we started a Google Doc, which I want to show you. Let me show you that in the live stream as well. Ali, it would be great if you could tell me if the live stream is seeing what I'm seeing on my display instead of that thing. Yeah, in a second. Yeah, can they see it? In a few seconds. So this is a Google Doc. This is also a great content marketing strategy for you guys who have your own businesses. This is a document, the Pirate Skills Analytics Resources Guide, that is completely public. Yeah, everybody could delete everything in this document, but they don't. I sent it out on Monday, and people have already been writing some comments that they like this idea, and they added their resources. Like, what are the best online courses you know? What are the best blog articles, the best YouTube videos, podcasts, whatever? I would really invite you guys to participate in this so everybody can share their knowledge. Just put your best links with a little title and description up there. There is no Google registration required for this whatsoever. Yeah. Just as a quick feedback, who likes this kind of idea that we have this resource? Okay, so we'll do that for the upcoming events, and we would like very much your feedback on what we could do better there. Yeah. One of the things that was already mentioned, the links, when you put them in, they're usually blue, and I turn them white. I just love the dark background. I'm so into dark themes that I will not change that. So you can get this also here from your handout. And we got a workshop coming up and a contact data. Yeah. So I would also really appreciate it if you would now go to your Facebook and share the live stream. Yeah, or like it, or just write a comment. Yay, I'm here. And you can also ask any questions you like via the live stream if you don't want to speak out loud. So everybody on the live stream, you can ask your questions now, and my bro Ali will read them for you. Yeah, and if you think anything is weird, just let us know in the comments. You'll be behind about 30 seconds. Yeah. So if you use the hashtag pirate skills, it gives us the opportunity to connect afterwards. I always check my Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter later for everybody who used the hashtag pirate skills to connect with them. If you could also take like sometimes a picture and share that, then I have the opportunity to see everything from a different perspective. Okay? So that would be great if you could do that. So let's kick it up. Why AARRR Metrics? So if you guys, 1, 2, 3 of you would share, why are you here? What are your expectations? Why do you want to use analytics for your business? Why do you want to become better? Hey, Felix, come in, find out. So anybody here, why are you here? Why do you even care about this stuff? Please.
For example, get feedback about the money you spend on marketing or other ideas in the startup.
Very good. So you want to have feedback where the money is spent. Yeah. That means, so in marketing, we have a saying, we waste about 50% of each marketing budget. We just don't know which half. Yeah. And analytics really clearly helps us to get that down to like 5% that I don't know what happens. If you're still into TV, it will stay that way with you, that you don't know where this stuff is going. But if you do normal online marketing stuff, you are highly capable of tracking it if you would just do it. Yeah. And today is the opportunity to look into what the tools are actually capable of and how easy it is to use them. Anybody else? Why are you here? To me, this is a major motivation. Maxime?
For instance, I'm building a product at the moment. It's now live, and I want to know what people don't understand about the product.
Yes,
and
perfect.
What's next to clear.
So it's not only about acquisition, it's about the user behavior as well. Yeah, what screens are they using? Where do they get stuck in the funnel? This is how you can easily see bugs in your system, for example. Why is the conversion rate on Android half as the conversion rate on iOS? Yeah, we know Android users are weird, but never mind. No, just kidding. So you had another one. Ah, wonderful. So getting some exposure to learn a bit more about analytics. Okay, do we have anything in the comments?
Actually, no.
Oh, perfect. That's good. So we just saw this this slide. Yeah, the pirate guide, growth marketing treasure map, where you can see the whole customer life cycle. As long as you think in these AARRR metrics, you're always tracking the right stuff. Where are people coming from? Are they onboarding well? Are they staying in your service? Are they recommending you to other people? And do they make more money than you pay for them? Yeah, that is the essence. And there are many tools out there that essentially all track 3 metrics. One is traffic. Yeah, what you said, like what does it cost to get a customer? What campaigns are they from? Then engagement, that is the behavior Maxime mentioned. And then conversions. Yeah, that is something we have not mentioned yet. Are they actually achieving what you want them to achieve? Are the users having success in your product? Do they buy the underwear in your online shop or not? Or are they getting stuck because they only see PayPal as payment options, but they want to have in Germany elektronisches Lastschriftverfahren? Yeah, and we are really, really loving that. Yeah. And we hate credit card for some reason. So lots of tools spawned to do this. And the most popular ones are Google Analytics and Facebook Analytics. So who has installed Google Analytics on their website? Yeah? Okay, who has a website or an app? Oh, that should be about the same people. Yeah? Who has consciously not installed Google Analytics, who says, no, this is shit? Yeah? Not shit, but you haven't done it yet. You have a conscious decision not to install Google Analytics? Any particular reason, or just didn't come around to it? Data privacy issues. Yes. We're going to target a little bit of that, but we actually have a full video recording here where you can also get the first link. There's one all about GDPR. Yeah? And of course I spelled it GDPR. Yeah, so. That is DSGVO in English. Yeah? So there are many concerns about that. But Google Analytics, so far, I'm working also with big insurance companies, and they all get Google Analytics on their system. Yeah, that is the only consistent tool I see in the market that everybody, no matter how big the company is, sooner or later makes the decision to put on their website. But Google Analytics is very much like a Microsoft Excel. Yeah, you can just use it a little bit, yeah, just plus and minus, or you can really do the macro work, and then it becomes the data privacy issue. Yeah. Facebook Analytics, on the other hand, most of us are aware that it's a data privacy issue because they can only think in people. It is the essence of Facebook to think in humans. That is the huge advantage of it, but of course from the data privacy point of view, it's a disadvantage because you're not able to not track people as themselves, as a human. Yeah? So but there are lots of other tools around, like Mixpanel, for example. I love to use Mixpanel in any software as a service tool. It has a very simple way to show you the user funnel. It has great integrations with email sending and push notification. And it really also is very good at thinking in people. Then to measure conversions, I love to use a tool called Segment. Yeah, Segment is like a data API where you just implement Segment, and then it sends it out to all the other tools. So the developers will really love this. Yeah, you only have to do one implementation in your app on your website, and Segment will send it to Google Analytics, to your help desk, to your email marketing tool like MailChimp. It's wonderful. And then, last but not least, Google Tag Manager, GTM. GTM is a container where you can put all of your pixel inside, and again, you relieve the developers of the work of doing it again and again and again. And they will be happy, but what is more important, you are free. You are not dependent on the publishing cycle of your developers. Yeah? And then they can help you out with the difficult events to track. But this is a very common setup to use, like Google Analytics with Facebook Analytics, some Mixpanel, Segment, GTM, and we will look now deeper into those elements. So for me, I summarized why. My major concern, especially when I start a business, is to maximize my learning speed. And if I'm a bigger business, I want to maximize my learning speed, otherwise competitors will outperform me. So improving your speed of learning to learn faster is one of the key things I get from analytics, and that is what nobody, no product guy, no marketing, no business guy can dispute. I use analytics to build a better product. I essentially see absolutely clear, not by self-reported surveys, I see where people really get stuck. Then I can help them to get there. I can improve my conversions. I can make a test, for example, does the button layout here work better, or if I put it on the other side, does this navigation confuse people, or is this version better? I can actually see, even with small amounts of data, which versions are better, and therefore I can improve my conversions. And what you mentioned as well, I get a bigger return on advertising spend, ROAS, return on advertising spend. I always want to play this game, putting €1 in, getting €2 out. I could play this game all day. It's my favorite game. And if I start a project, it usually looks like this. Ben puts in €2 and gets €1 back. Yeah, that is normally what happens. Because your product is still not smooth, it sucks a little bit. Your campaigns have zero historical experience, your conversion tracking still sucks. But then over time, I find a campaign where I get €1 in and €1 out. And there is a time before this event and a time after. And you will not recognize your business between those two stages. Once you're able to spend €1 and make €1 back, the speed in which you grow is so insanely faster. Even if you make no profit at all, you can spend €100 per day and acquire, let's say, 50 customers that enter your free trial for that. And you don't make any money of them, but all the reach you get for free, all the referrals that they send to you later are for free. And you have so many people you can send through the product experience, get much more feedback. And this is why this last point is very, very, very important to me. Do I spend my money where it should be spent? And it could not only be money, it could be my time. Social media and content marketing eats so much time. And I want to quickly learn what posts, what articles, what videos really drive engagement, drive conversions, and what is just boring people. Yeah, so those are my whys. Would you guys like to add anything? Okay, cool. So this concludes like the why of the AARRR metrics. Let me grab a little drink. Any questions so far? This was now the user-friendly part. Yeah, it gets a bit nerdier from now on. So let's look into Google Analytics. This is what Google Analytics looks like. It's the general overview of the audience. You see how many users you have on your website, how many new users who have not been recognized by Google before, how many sessions, because one user can be on your website or your app multiple times. Then the number of sessions per user, page views. This means how many sites or screens did they visit. Then of course I want to know how many per session, how many pages do people look like. That gives me an idea how engaging is my content. Do they stay only on my one page, or do they really click around, check out the pricing page, go to another article? And then the average session duration. How much time do I spend on this? In this one session, 2 minutes is really quite okay. But what if you see that your Facebook traffic stays 3 minutes and your Google SEO traffic stays 4 minutes, but your ads only stay 15 seconds? But on average, it's 2 minutes. You want to go deep into all of those numbers and understand what that means. So, this is the general overview. And this link I put in here that is also clickable in the PDF presentation, this leads you to the demo account of Google Analytics. And it's an absolute fantastic account to experience analytics at its maximum, with e-commerce integration, with attribution tracking, with coupon codes, for Christ's sakes. I think it's the original data from the Google store for the Nest product, for this, this smart home tech thing, yeah, this IoT device. So you always get fresh data. It's very realistic, and it's a ton of fun, like to dive in to see what's possible. So Google Analytics comes in different upgrades. So with all of those tools, I want to see you like where you should start, yeah, and where you should get to at the end. So at the basic minimum, you just these days install Google Analytics on your website with IP anonymization turned on. This is a requirement from before the DSGVO, but especially since then. if you have a shop, like who of you has like a WooCommerce or Shopify or Shopware shop? Please use plugins to install your analytics. You can't even foresee how many things those plugins think ahead. Stuff that you're not thinking about yet, that you want to know the brand, the category they're in, the price, the discount, the refunds, the VAT, the shipping costs. That is nothing you ever want to implement manually. Yeah? Even if you can, you would spend 3 weeks at least custom coding Google Analytics for an e-commerce store if you don't just use a plugin. Especially the Shopify users have a huge advantage here because it works just so smooth. You just put in the ID of the Google Analytics account and you're done. Everything else is tracked perfectly. But if you haven't, this base code, there are very simple tutorials on Google. Yeah, I put at least one recommendations here in the community resource section. A YouTube channel called Measure School. A guy called Julian from Frankfurt is doing an amazing job. There I learned most of what I know about Google Tag Manager from him. And that is the basis. What you get for that? You see that people visited your website, which website they were on, what kind of device they were on, how long they stayed. 90% of what you need to do, yeah, is just this simple installation. So if you haven't done that yet, please just get over that hurdle. So the next thing I do is I define goals. Yeah, it doesn't help me just to see which website were they used, but did people actually sign up for my survey? Did they sign up for the newsletter? Did they sign up for the free trial? Did they go to my pricing page? Yeah. So everything you want the user to do, you define as a goal and set that up in Google Analytics. I'm going to show you how that looks like in a second. The simplest way to define your goal is URL-based. Somebody was on /pricing. Yeah, then that's the easiest way to get there. Then the next thing is that is still not DSGVO problem, a GDPR problem, is connected to the Search Console. Search Console is the good old Google Webmaster Tools. Yeah, it was a tool that helped website administrators to see if there are any mistakes, but it's also the point where all the organic keywords are gathered. Let's say somebody types in a Pirate's Guide to Analytics, and I show up in the search result. The pirateskills.com domain shows up. Then this is captured and sent to Search Console. The complete phrase, no matter how many spelling mistakes I made, you do not have to depend on the keyword databases from Systrix or Xovi. You get the real stuff, and all the good keyword tools, they all rely on the results from the Search Console. If you don't know how it works, just Google it. Google Analytics Search Console connection. Done. Yeah, you get a simple, do that on YouTube. Do yourself a favor. Stop Googling so much on Google. Start using YouTube. It saves so much time because people will just show you how to do it. Yeah, and there you get all the SEO keywords into your Google Analytics as well. And you see, oh yeah, if they type in that keyword, they stay on that long. That is so engaging. Yeah, and then you can really see if your SEO efforts in a particular keywords are worth it. Next thing, and this is where it gets a bit dicey with the privacy policy, I connect Google Ads. Even in the good old days, I used to do that simply on day one. Even if I didn't do any Google Ads at the moment, I just connected it to Google Analytics, and from that time on, I could gather retargeting audiences. That means people who have visited my website, or have purchased something, or have visited a specific website, I could stalk through the whole internet. Who has ever made the mistake to go on the website called Zalando? Yeah? And have you had the experience of being stalked for the rest of your life? Yeah, that's the way this works. Yeah, it's wonderful in the world of marketing. Yeah? So what you get from that is retargeting. So I usually, now, these days, simply start my retargeting for €1 per day from day one because I need to have a good reason why I'm connecting Google Analytics and Google Ads. So I simply start retargeting campaigns. Whenever somebody was on my website, I sent them to something interesting, like my free, the access to the free online course for Pirate Skills where we record everything. Yeah? Or for my for my app. Everybody was on the website, but who has not installed the app, I send them to the appropriate app store. So that's what you get. And this is what I call the holy trinity of Google. That is, with the workshop, that is my first goal to get everybody to have a connection between Google Analytics, Search Console, and Google Ads. If you got those three together, you use the best parts of the Google ecosystem, yeah? And they really talk well together. So get to that stage. That is, to me, this is like level 1, and this is level 2. Yeah, so if you have already installed it, try to get the circle full. If you have data privacy concerns, yeah, skip the Google Ads. Yeah, again, 2 insurance companies I work with €1 million legal budget have made the complete opposite decision on how to deal with that. One simply fires the pixel, one does not. So if they can't get definite answers from their lawyers, I like to earn on the side of maximizing my speed of learning and my return of investment. But that is the decision every entrepreneur has to make for themselves. So, and then level 3 now starts with events. There was a big movement. This is why Mixed Panel got big. Yeah, Mixed Panel had this big claim. We don't think in page views, we think in actions of the user, because you actually don't give a fuck on which website your user is. You care about what they do on that website. Yeah, so Google had to follow suit, and they already had this in existence, but they put it more into prominence. It's what's called events. Somebody's clicking something. Somebody submitted a form. Somebody logged in. Somebody purchased something. Those are events, and you have almost complete freedom on what to track with those events. So what I do, I look at the AARRR metrics on my treasure map and see, yeah, what are the actions in each part, and I give it an event. What do you get from that? You get the user actions, and in the goals, you get event-based goals. There are, for example, some of you have a WordPress website, and you might have the MailChimp plugin installed, and you capture the email, and people type in their email, and they send set, and there's this nice refresh button, and people stay on the same website, right? The URL does not change to a thank you page or anything. How do you know if people sign up for your newsletter or not? You fire an event, and you get that, and then you can set up goals based on that event. Very simple, if you just know that this mechanic exists. And then there's the e-commerce world. I would call this still level 3 or 4. E-commerce events is the coolest part of Google Analytics. I even use e-commerce events if I don't have any e-commerce events. Yeah, they have the best graphics, they have the best analytics modules. I'll show you how that looks. But this is essentially the whole path to Google Analytics. Yeah, would anybody like to share something here or to ask a question about this whole shizzle? Yeah, please, Maxime.
Is there, like, the Search Console, it always sounds good in theory. In reality, like, maybe I never had, like, big enough websites with big enough traffic or something, but I never could have quality data from it, from all the keywords and stuff like this.
So your question is like, what do I do with the Search Console? Yeah. Doesn't it do anything good?
I mean, I don't see enough
data. So what you get? Yeah, you need some traffic, some SEO traffic for this to be worth it. Yeah, right. But it starts like this. You see the impressions in the search results. You see how many people click, what percentage of people click once they see you in the search result, and what your ranking is on average. Yeah, this is pretty unreliable, but it's okay. So one of the most interesting thing for me is, where do I get lots of impressions but little clicks? Yeah, those are usually placements where I am in the place 8 to 12 region, yeah, where I can make simple improvements to increase the clicks very much. So don't only look at the clicks, but also at the impressions. Look how people spell your brand. Yeah, you see how much brand traffic you get in contrast to your landing page traffic to targeted keywords. And in Google Analytics, you can also see how much engagement they show. Yeah, I wish it was a little bit better. There is a cool tool called Write, RYTE, who really does a lot of good things with the search data and gives you on-page optimization suggestion paired with that. There are many tools like that. If I always mention a tool, I'm not fixated on a specific tool, and you would like to add another one, please give me a shout out. Yeah. So, but Right would be something that would, like, this is a lot about SEO and your SEO game, and there Right is a good on-page optimization tool that takes that data into account and does the best what it can with it. Okay, any other questions? Yeah. The last thing you get once you implement the e-commerce event is the transaction-based goals. Yeah, that means somebody added something to the cart but did not buy. Guess what? I'm going to retarget the shit out of them until they buy. Yeah, you think, oh yeah, maybe they had a good reason why they didn't finalize that. It still works like magic. I can't help it. This is the highest converting target group. People who have put something into the basket but did not buy. Yeah, and you can spend 10 euros to reach 1,000 people. Yeah, in the retargeting campaigns. So that is a very, very small budget. But I need that event or the transaction data to get there. So that's Google Analytics, and the e-commerce data really helps me to get the return on advertising spent. Okay, so how does this actually look like? The first part of Google Analytics looks like this. It's the audience tab on the left-hand side, and I'll just show you the most interesting parts of Google Analytics and Facebook Analytics. This is a chart that now shows me what the age and gender ratio is on my website. Yeah, that is very important information. Now I do Facebook ads, for example, and I know, this is a 70% guys thing, 25 to 34. And I can now adjust my content marketing, my pictures, my text copy to this demographic. Yeah, this is really, really helpful data. The earlier you are, the more unsure are you about this. You build like crazy customer avatars, yeah, but what about the truth? Yeah, what about at least the Google truth? Yeah, this is all guesstimated by by search behavior. Yeah, but it gets very close because Facebook really knows how old you are, and I can compare the data, and it looks pretty decent. And Google will guess for anybody their age and their gender, and you get that data even in real time when they visit your website. So if you want to do personalization, you see like, oh yeah, this is a 90% likely this is a woman. You can show more female-oriented products, yeah, for example. Great, great, great help for me. You also get something that's called interests. Yeah, in this example, we see affinity categories. Those are very broad categories. People who have been searching in the past, have used YouTube, have Googled sites with Google Analytics on them. This is why people have data privacy concerns, right? Like you get categorized so much. But hey, we are on the other side of that track and can benefit from that now. And we can make better experiences for our customers. So I have shoppers, technophiles, media and entertainment lovers. This is, for example, always a category. When I see this pretty high, I try YouTube ads. Yeah, I try more video ads than I would usually do. This is the in-market segment. Yeah, this is really broad, billions, and this is like tens of millions. People are currently actively searching for a specific solution. So this website, which is the Nest website, yeah, for this IoT device, they are also in the market for a mobile phone and for financial services, employment, and this just gives me ideas. This gives me ideas for placements, for content I want to play, for device types I want to focus on. And it just is another layer that I can study that, and that is not that commonly used. Yes, please.
Is that a general overview, or is that an overview about companies you run yourself?
No, this is based on the users on this website.
Okay.
Yeah, this is specific to this website. It is not generic. It looks very different with every project I have. Yeah, and for example, on my CSGO Skills app, dating services is really way up here, but my main target group is male 16 to 24. Yeah, so it would be a really good idea for me to use Lovo, for example, for app boosting. Yeah, because I know my target group is there. They want to do dating, but what they actually want to do is sit in front of the PlayStation and game around. Yeah. So that is always very specific to your page. Yeah.
So what's the significant number there? I mean, it's like between 1% and 4%.
Good question. There are hundreds of these categories, and these are only the top 10 most correlated categories. So even the worst ones are the best among 500. Yeah, I don't know the exact number, but they also happen to be the exact categories that you can use when you do Google ads, when you do Google banner ads. So an idea is, oh, I want to do banner ads. Who do I target? How about I create a segment? This is another feature of Google Analytics, of all the people who have bought my underwear. Yeah. And then I see the highest correlating categories, even if it does not make sense. The data does not lie. It gives me a suggestion. This is a hypothesis that I can test now in the market, and it's more likely to be true than just some random categories, right? So this is really interesting for me. So even the bad ones are really good. Yeah. All right. So what else is to discover? Here's, for example, the goal setup from Google Analytics, from the CSGO Skills app, the Counter-Strike trainer. So if you feel like you're getting a really bad kill-death ratio, try a few rounds in CSGO Skills to improve your game with the AK-47. Probably getting banned for that already. So what do you see here? Yeah, here is a retargeting audience for everybody who has been on the website for the last 540 days. Yes, Ben, that's unreasonable. Yeah. Here are the people who have been on the weapon-related pages. This is a really bad example for a live stream. It's about a computer game, Mark. It's about a computer game. Yeah. People have been on the websites, on those specific websites, for 30 days. Here is people from the app. Here is a smart list, which is not that smart, which Google Analytics does themselves. And here are the people who have already clicked to the App Store. This is usually a targeting group that I use to exclude people, because every retargeting group I have is not only interesting for inclusion, but always also for exclusion. They just bought my underwear. Maybe I give them a 60-day break from my ads. Yeah, before I remind them, dude, your underwear is 60 days old. What's up? Yeah. So not that I'm buying underwear every 60 days. Yeah. So it is very simple to set up those goals, and what you get from that, I will show you in the conversion data. Yeah. So acquisition is the area where I spend 90% of my time in Google Analytics. Yeah. The audience part is like yes, I'm learning and discovering much more about my audience, but most of the time I'm interested in where are people coming from, how much did I spend for them, and are they converting them the way I want them to convert. What you see here is my favorite tab. It's under acquisition, all traffic, source medium. Let's make that big for the live stream for a second. What do you see here? You see Google Organic. That means people have come through organic searches, and 40% of all users have come through organic searches. And that is showing me that this is my most important channel. I cannot simply make the decision to switch my domain anymore. I cannot make the decision to switch my URL structure. I'm going to risk my whole business with that. Yeah. And let's take that through. So 31,000 sessions. The bounce rate is 50%. Bounce means like half the people did not do any interaction on the website. No clicks on links, no navigation openings, no submissions of any forms. Yeah, they just left again after a little while, but they did nothing, no interaction events. Oh yeah, they stay here for 3.6 pages, they stay 1 minute 50, and 0.67% of people convert to an e-commerce event. For paid traffic, I'm looking for 2 to 4%. If it's search traffic or Facebook traffic, with display ads, it's bad. Yeah, but it doesn't matter because it's much cheaper. But I can actually see how many people convert to customers. I saw that 200 of the transactions from my all 2,000 transactions in the last 30 days came from Google SEO, and this made, in this example, 27,000 euro in revenue. So that is 6%. So is this good or is it bad? I don't know. 40% of the traffic is coming through there, but only 60% of the monies. 6% of the monies. Yeah. So you can judge for yourself, like what is good, what is bad. You have to deal with what you got anyways. The question is only, how can I improve it? Yeah. But if you, for example, see, oh yeah, your Facebook ads have an amazing return on investment, why not scale up that marketing budget? I personally do not believe in marketing budget. Maybe for the outset. Yeah, I'm telling myself, okay, Ben, you're getting 1,000 euros per day, per month. Yeah, this is 30 bucks per day. That is what most people who do Facebook ads should start with. Yeah, you don't have to do it for all 30 days, but like spend 10 to 30 days to 10 to 30 euros to start with. But what if I make 10,000 euros out of those 1,000 euros? Can I not spend that again the next month? And as long as I keep playing that game, why shouldn't my marketing budget be infinite? I'm super weirded out by corporate marketing budget. It makes me crazy because it stops me from growing. So this is another thing. Google CPC is the code for Google Ads. Yeah, 6,000 people, again, 6.1% e-commerce conversion rate. But what is making so much money here? Ah, yeah, it's the Google Deals page. Yeah, it's a specific shopping site from Google. Ah, yeah, only 2% of the traffic and 47%. It might also be that this is the checkout page. Sometimes I see that people think, oh yeah, I get so much traffic from PayPal.com. Yeah. So that's when you send people from your website, you make them pay with PayPal, and that is simply the last redirect you get. Yeah, and then they are back on your website, and Google Analytics thinks, geez, like PayPal, it's really running well. So what you do against that is, if you see that whenever I see payment providers there is an option called referral exclusion. You just put it in there, just the domain, paypal.com, done. Yeah, it will simply forget that this was the last interaction. Yeah, and then you see the truth that was before, the truth, the Google truth. Yeah. So honestly, 85% I spent on this graph. Yeah, I'm studying very deeply what happens here, because you can go one level deeper again, not only seeing where the people came from, but what keywords they use, what campaign they were in, what ad did they see. So let's go back to the cap. This is the Search Console query. Yeah, what Maxime was asking about. What is so interesting about this? What you see here is how many people have clicked from absolute organic search results. The most used keyword was YouTube merchandise in this case. Again, this is the demo account. Yeah? And there are always lots of people in this other category, because Google, for data privacy protection reason, has made the decision to encrypt most of the keywords. Yeah? But as long as you have enough people that do not have this option activated for whatever reason, you get relatively stable results. And as long as you ignore the absolute numbers but look at the percentages, you don't care about the other segment. Yeah, you can still look at that. And here you can see how many people, how often your URL showed up. how many people clicked through, and what your placements were. For example, this is what I meant. Lots of impressions, but very few clicks. This is what I'm always looking for. And that shows me, oh yeah, it's a rank of 6.8. There is such a big difference between rank 6 and rank 3 or 1, like 10x. Let me go back one more. Ali and I, we did a lot of websites. The first one we did was about orchids. Orchideenflüsterer was our first website, and about 30,000 people per month are searching and landing on the website and looking for orchid care advice. Yeah, and we had this time where our traffic went up and down, up and down. We were wondering, like, what the fuck is happening? And what happened was the Google dance. We were finally ranking for the keyword orchids, orchideen. And Google switched us from space 11 to 9, 11, 9, 10, 11, 12, 8. And this was like traffic on, traffic off. There is no second page on Google. Nobody gives a shit. 40 to 60% go to the first organic result. Yeah, then 70% to the second result. And guess what? Voice search is gonna kill everything but place number 1. There is going to be no Alexa that's telling us, oh, this was search result number 2, this was search result number 3. No, there's only one result. Yeah, that is the truth. So studying that and getting really good at it, that is really important if you have a traffic, if a business that could be good at SEO. So next thing is, we switch down, we go from the top to the bottom, all the most relevant reports I'm showing you. Yeah? We now went from Search Console to campaigns to all campaigns. Yeah? Yeah. So here you can see from mostly the Google ads. Now this is like zoom in one level. If you were to click on Google CPC, yeah, zoom in one more level. Which campaigns of your marketing channels now has the best performance? Does this work?
No, only the camp.
Only the camp. Okay, let's go to only the camp. We see that we spend a lot of monies, or at least like sessions and data. The money is seen somewhere else. Down here is the AdWords tab. Yeah, it's now called Google Ads, where you can see also the cost of the ads. But here we only see the campaign data. And we see that most of the money is made through those two campaigns. The AW accessories and this one, the dynamic search alerts. But what's up with all the other ones? Am I spending too much money there? This is the question, like, am I wasting my money right now? Yes, you're wasting them on most of the other campaigns except for those two. And you can yourself, you can define what's supposed to be written there. And I'm going to show you that now. So if you ever wondered how do you make every link you send out trackable that goes back to your website, this is the way to go. Yeah? You simply put in your domain, pirateskills.com, question mark, UTM source, which is Google, UTM medium, CPC. And that's what is written there. And then the campaign parameter, where you can write whatever you want, like Pirate Skills Meetup, for example, or Easter promotion. And now you can go as deep as you like in the analytics and dive deeper. And at the beginning, you're like, oh yeah, I'm putting all my data into one basket and see how much money drops out at the end of the business. Then you start being a bit more differentiated by not putting Facebook and Google traffic into the same basket. It's simply stupid to do so. Yeah, but lots of people do. Same as desktop and mobile traffic. They're acting so differently. Why would I compare them even? Yeah? But then you can go one step deeper. How does each campaign perform? And you can see all the AARRR metrics for each single campaign. It's a beautiful thing. Does this make sense, or should I explain this a bit more, what this UTM parameter does? I put this in every Facebook ad. For example, when I set the URL, I put this UTM parameter and say Facebook CPC. exactly the way it's written here. Yeah. Yes, please.
Why should I use UTM parameters when I've got a pixel?
Okay, so it works. It works like this. The do you talk about the Facebook pixel or the Google Analytics pixel? We discussed this a little bit during the growth sprint. The UTM parameter is more like an information for you back to Google Analytics, and it's agnostic of the traffic channel. You can do native ads, Google ads, Facebook ads. As long as you set the UTM parameters, you get to see in your own Google Analytics account how people were behaving. If you are making an email promotion, you see how much sales or leads you generated from that. If you ask somebody else to send out emails for you, you can give them a link. Yeah? And now you can see that. The pixel, on the other hand, also gives you a bit of clarity but you can make the clarity much more clear. And the other function of the pixel is to talk back to the ad provider. Yeah, as we said. The pixel not only receives data, but it sends it back. If I say, Facebook, here's 1 million people, please give me the best people, and I have not the pixel installed, it will simply optimize for whatever is the cheapest click I get. But if I tell them, please optimize from this 1 million people for the people who are most likely to sign up for my email newsletter, then it will only target the 50,000 people that are more likely to do so. But because the pixel can talk back. Yeah? And this is how I stop wasting money. And from a data privacy point of view, how you stop bugging people who are not interested in your shit. So, next thing is behavior. Yeah, we said in the AARRR metrics, acquisition, and now we are in the activation and retention area. I want to see, this is the second most important page for me. It's here under behavior, site content, all pages. It shows me where are people hanging out. For apps, it's called screens. Yeah. Which page do people spend the most time? For CSGO skills, for example, 46% of people look at an article about spray patterns and recall compensation. Who knows what this is about? Come on, show yourself. Yeah. Just Google spray pattern. It's the first result you get, and you see this crazy article, and I can see that people really love this. CSGO Skills has about 1,000 people per day on the site and generates 500 free installs. And it's all from 5 pages on this whole website. And of course, I will spend most of my UX and conversion love on those 5 pages, right? Why would I spend this anywhere else? And this is where I see where do people spend the most money. What is also interesting is the landing pages tab is where do people enter my website. Yeah, and it's not always the homepage. This is the daily active user chart. It just shows me how many people are active every day, 7 days, 30 days, period. Smart investors will not ask you, Ben, you got 800,000 installs. They will ask you, how many active users have you got? And I would have to tell them, I got about 14,000 7-day active users. Yeah, that means only 14,000 people are in a 7-day period active once. Yeah, and if you have anything like a software as a service or a product that is used several times through the lifecycle, not just a website that nobody goes to ever again, yeah, then this chart is really important. This is really a product-related chart. And there is also the cohort analysis. This shows me, it's this tab, we just switched from here to there, how many people after week 0, they have been there in that week, how many people come back? And in this case, it's 3%, 4%, and this is by cohorts, by each week. Yeah? So you make product improvements, and you hope that people like it better than before. You cannot put everybody into the same basket. You have to separate the people who entered into the new experience from the people who entered the old experience. That's a very easy way to do so. And this is what a lot of people will really see, like, oh shit, my business and my product really sucks. Yeah, because the truth, and especially in B2C, how many people leave and forget about you? It's insane. It is so insane. So you can get to this happy place there. Yeah, you can also get speed suggestions. Which are your slowest websites? And it will also ping you directly into something like the Page Speed Insight tools that gives you concrete suggestions about big ass images you have on your site, unminified CSS or JavaScript, and you can get there directly from Google Analytics. And if you know what the most important pages are for conversions, you know what to optimize for, on which to spend your page speed optimization time. Then, as I said, what is about level 3 to 4 is having custom events on your page or your web service. You want to see how many people did something like an add to cart, a quick preview, a login event, and you see those. I have an event for every significant step I want a user to take. Yeah, if I have 10 conversion goals, let's say for one business, I might have like 25 events. They are like a bit more fine-grained version of goals. Yeah, but I can't see them in all the graphics, so they are a bit separated. Yeah, so after that, of course, we have goals. And what you see on the goals overview page here, we went now to the last part of the Google Analytics section. So you know we are mostly through with Google Analytics. If you're getting bored already, you see how many goal completions you had in total, how much percent. And this puts all goals into one basket. But I always see when a service has like a server problem or something significantly goes wrong with the product. And there was an update on Friday and everybody went home for the weekend and nobody noticed that something did not work. You see that immediately in this graph because conversions just drop and then they flatline. So this is why I regularly take a look at this goal thing. But then you have a split up. You can choose each and every single goal, like purchase completed. You see, oh yeah, 2,100 people did that. How much percent of people did that? Where they came from? Blah blah blah. Yeah. So this is the heartbeat of your business. Yes. You have to define every goal yourself. Every Google Analytics account starts with 0 goals. So, and as I said in the graph where I had Google Analytics with a treasure map, the first and easiest way is to do URL-based goals. Just tell them he was on the pricing page, /pricing. Yeah, everybody can set that up themselves. Then event-based goals and transaction goals for the next level. Okay, does it make sense? Yeah, and if it doesn't make sense, Google it. Yeah, YouTube it, I mean. So this is how a conversion funnel looks in Google Analytics. Yes, it's really ugly. Yeah, but here you can see how many people added something to the cart, started with the billing and shipping, and actually went through the payment. So if you're wondering why only a third of the people who added something to the cart buy your stuff, that's normal. Yeah, that's what I see everywhere. In most e-commerce projects, it's simply the way people behave at the moment, at least. But you can see people like, where do they go? Where do they leave? Yeah. But this is a bit ugly, and this is where the e-commerce part can help us. It simply looks much prettier. By the way, this is an example of how you set up a URL-based goal. Yeah, you just add this goal in the settings. You find that section in your views. You just say, oh yeah, it is this URL, yeah, everything behind the domain, and then you can define a value if you want to. I usually don't. And then you save, and you see, like, oh yeah, 46% of people have visited that website. Yeah. Just to verify that this goal actually works. So this is the easiest way to set up your goals. Yeah. You should all set up like 3 goals by tomorrow. Yeah, install your Google Analytics, just set up 3 goals, be done with it for now, because it only starts tracking from the day you set it up. So that comes to the very last part, the e-commerce, which is part of the conversions thing. Yeah, the e-commerce is my favorite part, and I even abuse e-commerce events for normal sign-up newsletter stuff because I want to attribute value to it. If somebody signs up for my newsletter, there is a value attached to it. Why not fire an e-commerce event and get much, much prettier graphs? Yeah, like this one here, the e-commerce conversion rate. Yes.
One question again.
It's really ugly, I know, yeah.
If you want to use Google Analytics or Facebook Analytics without having your own website, is that also a possibility?
To have 0 website?
Yeah, if you don't have any website by now, but Instagram and Facebook account, and you want to get used to Google Analytics and Facebook Analytics, do you have any recommendation how to do that then?
If you have no website, so why would you?
The demo account.
Yeah, you can use the demo account to
For example, if I want to get used to this,
use the demo account. Yeah, use the demo account. There was a link at the very first slide of Google Analytics. Yeah, there's a link to the demo account, or just Google Analytics demo account. It's a bit weird. That's why I sent the link in. It gives you sends you to the precise page. There you can get used to it. Yeah, and stalk around and see what you could actually gain out of that. But I loved it. Like, this is in any e-commerce store. I need this. If I can't get to this data, I feel that I'm running everything like blindsided. Yeah, this is really the most valuable part. If I change a significant traffic source, I need to really need to see like, oh yeah, how does the e-commerce conversion rate change? Lots of people like to change like from a multi-step checkout to a single page checkout. That sounds good, but does it actually improve the e-commerce conversion rate? I tell you, I'm lucky if 50% of my brilliant design ideas and changes result into better e-commerce conversion rates. Yeah? It's not automatically the case. Everything you change is just an experiment. And I tell you, the internet does not convert for beauty. Only with Apple. Yeah? But most people don't care. Like, ugly landing pages still convert. Yeah? I don't like it. I'm a very aesthetically oriented person, but the interweb and the data does not lie. Yeah, not everything has to be beautiful. It has to be clear as fuck. Then it converts. And if you make it beautiful, then you can then you have the best of both worlds. But clarity and singleness of purpose of what you're supposed to do on this page, that is the highest impact thing you can do for your conversions. So you also now get prettier funnel graphics in the e-commerce conversion world. Yeah, you can see, oh yeah, how many people browsed on my website, how many saw products, how many added something to the cart, to the checkout, and did transactions. Yeah, this is how I would love it, and this is how, for example, Mixed Panel shows it to you, and this is how Facebook Analytics shows it to you, and you can only get to this kind of beautiful step-by-step conversion funnel in Google Analytics if you use e-commerce events. Yeah? And there are very easy ways with Google Tag Manager to simplify e-commerce events instead of normal events and give them some value. Yeah? Yeah, and you can even see what products have been your best performers. Yeah? Which color of your underpants is the most exciting one? What do you need to reorder? What do your customers actually vote for with their wallet? And you get something that through e-commerce that is available nowhere else in Google Analytics, which is called assisted conversions. I always get the question here about what's the return of investment on my Facebook, yeah, social media juju. Here you can actually see how channels affect other channels. You see, for example, that the Google Sites referrals, that they have only 30,000 euro in last click conversions. That is what we would have seen above. Yeah, when you see like the medium, the source and medium tab, you would only see this number, 36,000 up there. But what it doesn't show you up there is that it also contributed to $37,000 of revenue. That means somebody also went through this website before they bought something, but it was not the last website. So the biggest hurdle at the moment with analytics is what we call attribution. Who was really responsible for the purchase, or which steps are responsible? Yeah, I always try to visualize this more like a pie chart. Yeah, I still have not found a tool that does this really great. I would see like, oh yes, 30% is attribution to Facebook, 60% to Google Ads, 20% email, whatever. Yeah, but I can't get that. So this is one of the barriers. If you guys have suggestions for me, please, yeah, I'm all ears. There is a Google product called Google Attribution, but I can't get access to it. Google, if you're listening, please give me access. Yeah, so this is what you can get from the whole e-commerce world. So you get, Google Analytics is very powerful. Yeah, it is like Excel, Microsoft Excel. You can just have it installed, or you can actually use it really for pretty much everything. Yeah, to see where people come from, how they behave, how they convert. Do you have any more questions about the Google Analytics part before we continue? So I got some resources for you if you want to dive deeper into Google Analytics. These are my favorite sources to learn more. Support.google.com Analytics is a fantastic site. You won't believe how often you could save the money for the paid course if you just read the fucking documents of the tools you're using. Yeah. This is from Google as well, the Analytics Academy. They have an academy for AdWords, for Google Analytics, for Google Tag Manager. They have free courses from the horse's mouth. Yeah, it's the best source there is. If you look for interesting solution to your problems, this website called AARRR Metrics has an amazing blog that is like every second time I have a difficult problems, I land on one of their websites. Then there's the mentioned YouTube channel, Measure School. And then for the crazy shit, this is in order of difficulty. Yeah, there's the Kauchik guy who just, I think he used to work at Google for the analytics product, and he shows you stuff you can do with analytics that I've never heard of. Yeah, it's fantastic. It's fantastic what he does. So in progression, just go through it in that progression. Yeah, once you feel comfortable with that level. So these are my most highly recommended resources. I will put them into the community document. So if you have anything else to add, please switch them, put them into the community doc under getpiratesgoods.com/analytics-resources. So can we switch to our next beautiful topic? Or do you have any questions about analytics before? Any GDPR concerns or stuff? Usually there are some, but I don't like to answer that. Just kidding, just kidding. I'll give you my best answer on the GDPR stuff, as I know. So, what can Facebook, why do I even mention Facebook Analytics in the first place? Yeah, Facebook is now my favorite analytics tool by far. It outperforms Google Analytics in so many ways these days. It's still not completely there. Yeah, but from the graphics, from the quality of the data, I'm simply convinced by it. And the first level is here against the pixel code, just the basic pixel, put it in your header. And you get the page views, you get very interesting insights about your audience. And the next level too is writing event codes. While events are kind of optional with Google Analytics, they are kind of mandatory to see anything meaningful in Facebook Analytics. So learning to write the codes, I'll show you. You get the standard events like add to cart, purchase, content view, search. But you can add any kind of event parameter to it. Yeah, which website did they visit? Which product did they buy? What was the value of the product? What currency did they buy it in? And then you can turn those into custom conversions. Then the third level is creating audiences based on your Facebook pixel data. That means lookalikes, like people have visited my website and show me the 1% in Germany, or wherever you are, who are most similar to the people who have already visited my website or who have bought my stuff. That is one of the most powerful features of Facebook ads. Engagement. Who showed what type of engagement? You don't even need a website for that. You can create engagement audiences just based on the Facebook and Instagram page and profile behavior. Everybody who has seen any video of you for longer than 3 seconds is automatically retargetable. They did not opt in for this, I know, but it's Facebook's problem, not ours. Yeah? And you get the retargeting. People have visited that website, they've visited multiple times, they went to the pricing page, you can retarget the shit out of them. And then the fourth level would be the dynamic ads. Facebook is able to say, oh yeah, he was on that page, there was this product, this camera model, and now he didn't buy. Let's stalk him with that camera model or an upsell or a downsell model and see what works with him. What you need for that is a so-called product catalog, but you can worry about that once you get those 3 levels done. Okay? So wait, let me go back to this. No. Does this make sense? Would you like to add anything to the levels of Facebook? Yeah, I hope this is helpful. Like, I'm not getting too much feedback today, like too much nerdery happening here, or I'm being really boring. So what you get is this overview. Yeah, again, there is a demo account for this. You see how many users you have. You can have multiple pixels connected to your Google Analytics, even multiple businesses connected with each other, offline sources, online sources, app sources, messenger sources. Yes?
In the business account, or where are you now?
This is now in the Business Manager, and there's an Analytics tab there. If you go to this menu, there is, like in the middle, there's the Analytics tab. Yeah? But what can we get there? What is similar, what is different? We first of all see activity. We see how many new users, and we see, oh yeah, there was a big change on the website here around this time. Was it on purpose? Did that happen? Was it an accident? I see how many million people have been here and how long they have been there. But Facebook is much more able to segment those people, really differentiate it. And they give us those, without any trouble, give us those beautiful funnel analytics. And I usually have like 6 to 12 steps for every product that I look into. I want to see people coming in. I want to see them die off. It's natural. I just want to target where do I lose most of the people to attack exactly at the right point. Yeah? Those funnel visualizations only have this one purpose for me, to see where do people drop off and how much potential, how easy will it be to improve that number. And of course, I'll try at the earlier steps of the funnel because it will affect all the rest of the funnel. So that's what you get for free with Facebook Analytics. You can also see all of the ends that are firing. Yeah, how many fired today, how it developed, how many uniques. And here you see like all the events that this app is using. The page view is like the standard event that fires everywhere. The app launch is something that is done by Facebook automatically. Content view is usually an important page. In shops, we use the product pages, always as content views. People did a search, people reacted on posts, they did purchases, all kinds of stuff. Yeah, and I can just these funnels that we saw before. We can do those based on any of the events, and it's very easy to stitch them together and kill one event and replace it with another one. It's a much more intuitive user experience for me. It's much easier to use, and it is in many cases more powerful. Google Analytics feels more neutral to me. It's less biased towards Facebook. Yeah, it doesn't care that much where people come from. And Facebook only recently started to show you conversion data from other channels but Facebook. um, at least in the details. It always worked. So you get the events. I go through this a bit faster because you have heard it pretty much with the Google Analytics part as well. Yeah, that's what I meant. I can now have reports that show me those UTM parameters also in Facebook Analytics. I see, oh yeah, from the Facebook email, I got this. From the Google banners, I got this. From the Facebook partners, I got this. And I see the campaign name, and I see the results, the values, and everything. Yeah, so all I get in Google Analytics, I can get here as well. But I have a better quality of data because Facebook is insanely capable of doing cross-device tracking. That is one of the most highlighted questions in the Facebook group poll that we usually do before the event, how to do a cross-device tracking. Facebook simply knows who you are. It prints the social security number on your head and sends it with every single event. It doesn't care if you're on a website, on your desktop, on your mobile device, or on your mom's device. It knows it's you, yeah, most of the time. So what Facebook is most awesome at is people, yeah? And you can learn the age distribution, but this time you can be sure most people have to enter the birthday when they sign up for Facebook, except if you've entered a fake birthday, which you probably did not do. Who entered a fake birthday on their Facebook profile? I'm just curious. 3 people, yeah. You also learn what languages they speak, which cities they are from. And what I also like to study, it's what operating systems are they using, what kind of device types. Device type has become, since the move to mobile, like 80% of traffic is happening from mobile now when I do Facebook ads, at least 80%. There are only very few B2B cases where I see 40% desktop, but that is the maximum at the moment. And even if you say like, yeah, I'm dealing with older people, they're on tablets. Why would they buy a laptop these days? Imagine the customer support we had to do if our grandparents had laptops instead of iPads. Yeah, who has made the mistake of giving their parents an Android tablet? You only do this once in your life cycle, yeah, and then you switch to something that they cannot misunderstand. Yeah. See which users have which device type, which Android system. And I seriously discover bugs regularly. For example, there was a mistake with a PayPal payment on a certain iOS version. Yeah, and whoever had this version could simply not buy my shizzle. They pressed the Facebook button, they were pissed off, they couldn't buy my shit. Yeah, so I simply excluded them from my targeting until the bug was fixed. But I discovered this here, and I discover that regularly. And as long as the audience is big, I usually run Android and iOS separately from desktop and from tablets because the behavior is so different. And I usually now even prefer to send them to different user experience. That means different landing pages. I can discover this in this wonderful chart. So that, in essence, is what, to me, what are the most important reports in Google and Facebook Analytics. Yeah, and I know it must be maybe a bit overwhelming or incredibly boring, but you now have the chance to ask the question, how does this apply to me? How does this work in my specific case? And the whole community can think with you. Yeah, so feel free to ask your questions in a moment, yeah, when the Q&A slide comes up. And use this chance, yeah, to get that feedback, to ask them, yeah, but my data privacy dude will not allow me to. Ask that question, yeah, if you are actually interested in that. But to keep in mind, imagine always you are on this island, and there is a tower, and it gives you an overview of everything that happens in your business. The whole customer lifecycle needs to be represented here, yeah, and if you cover those AARRR metrics, you got the most important ones, not only for yourself, but for your future investors maybe, for your customers to deliver a really good product. So anybody here who would like to ask questions, Don't wonder if I repeat the question. The live stream doesn't hear it otherwise. Yeah. So, who would like to start first? Yes, please.
So I have no experience neither with Facebook nor Google Analytics, but I'm wondering who would like to start out with a really small company. How much time do I need to spend per week to set all the stuff up that you've shown?
Okay, so the question is, if you have nothing set up for a small company, where should you start? How much time should you invest? Yeah. So I would start with Google Analytics. It's from the data privacy point of view, the least complicated one. Get that set up. What kind of website do you have? WordPress?
Nothing yet.
You will probably have a WordPress website, right? Or something else.
No.
If you had a website, how would you build it?
Well, let's see. It's just really a question, like, let's say I had a website.
Yeah.
This is similar to my question. If
Yeah.
I'm working with developers, what do I
Tell them to. Yeah, yeah. Good thing. Yeah. So what if you have developers? What do you tell them? So if you set up your Google Analytics account, which takes about 60 seconds, it's free. Yeah. You will have the option to send your developer an email with very clear instructions, and they get an email with the code to put on your website. And this would take another developer about 5 minutes. Yeah, the question is, when do they put the 5 minutes in? So, yeah, am I lying, Maxime? Like 5 minutes setup, 5 minutes base installation code?
Yes, and I would tell them to invest 1 more hour in GTM so that it's well done forever.
Yeah, so if you don't want to bother them that many times, tell them to install Google Tag Manager first. But that is the second level. Yeah, once you're just get comfortable with using Google Analytics first, and then use the Google Tag Manager. Yeah, but about 10 minutes. So the next question is, how do I set this up? So set up 3 goals. Take 30 minutes for that, and then take 30 minutes every week to look at the data and to start studying it. That is about the time you need. Yeah, so 1 hour setup and conversion goals tracking, and a ½ hour a week to learn more about your business and your customers. Yeah, that's all it takes. Any other question?
So
Yeah, please, Jonah.
When it comes to pixels and these types of things, I mean, I appreciate that analytics is simple, but what's complicated and what can fuck up? You know, what can
Yeah.
go wrong?
So Jonah's asking what can go wrong. Yeah. Do we have any questions from the audience? Just let me know if they're. Just raise your hand. It's fine. So what I see go wrong most of the time, if people have a single page application, let's say you have an Angular app, a React app, then you need to work differently because the page does not reload. Yeah, you only see one screen and you're wondering like, oh, why is everybody on this one screen? Why can't I see how they're moving through the app? Yeah, so you have to give Google different instructions. The implementation is more complicated, but since you're having a React app or an Angular app, you also have a programmer who did this. And you should always have analytics in mind when you develop a new feature. Just give them the feature set and please put this into the tracking code. Put that custom event in there as well. So what else do I see fuck up? I see no goals set up for no reason. Yeah, they have a WordPress website. They know which pages are valuable, which clearly show that people have signed in, but they simply have not set that up. Anything else that goes wrong
Yeah,
here?
not testing your implementation.
Yeah, looking at the data and thinking it's the truth. Yeah, it's a model. It's you have to check with reality. Yeah, whether or not it makes sense. If the data is plausible that comes in, you have in both tools a real-time analytics element. You can just use your mobile phone and see, oh yeah, is this shit firing at all? And you see like, oh yeah, he's there. Does the location tracking work? Does the page tracking work? And the real-time data really helps you there. With e-commerce tracking, I see currency fuck-ups sometimes. Yeah, so you have to consider currency, especially if you're doing anything in the App Store. They use this wild point system, especially in the Google App Store, and you have seriously 100 different currencies you're being paid in. Yeah, yep, that's common fuck-ups. Yeah, nothing wild. Yeah. Any other questions? Go ahead.
I set up a business which is not directly related to websites or web shops.
Yeah, like what?
Can I still use these kind of things? So
That was the original question you had before. I felt that. Yeah. So, for example, the question is why would you use it? Yeah. But I have seen coffee machines being attached to Google Analytics. Yeah. It's the question, for example, for a co-working space is how many coffee cups are being drunk, right? That is a case. That is an offline event, and all you do, you can send, for example, from a Google Doc. You can send events to Google Analytics. You say like, oh yeah, I wrote a contract today. The number of offers I sent out today is 3, and it sends it to Google Analytics. And Google Analytics gives you a nice overview over time on how your business developed. Yeah, I wouldn't do it. I would just go with the Google Doc and live with that. But if you wanted to have fun with that, you could. Yeah, there's also a tool called Zapier that stitches all kinds of data sources that do not need to be websites, yeah, together, yeah, and also puts the data into Google Analytics and to lots of other tools. Check it out, Zapier, zapier.com, yeah, and then it can help you, but you lose all of the real use cases. Those frameworks are also called client-sided analytics. That means there is a device and a human in front of that device that does stuff, and you get all the gender and age and interest groups. You lose all of that. I would rather look for a simpler solution. Yeah, maybe if you explain your example, I could make a more proper suggestions than abusing Google Analytics.
Let's assume I open a restaurant.
Yeah.
It's not directly related to web shops.
Yeah.
But I would like to
Very good example.
whatever is good or not. So I can use my Facebook account, for example.
Yeah.
Instagram.
Yeah.
Website. Whatever kind of resources can I use that I still have relation to digital analytics?
You want to take this one or shall I? I don't know.
No, go for it.
Maxime's parents, we talk about this a lot because Maxime's parents have a restaurant in France, and he's working on campaigns towards this restaurant. So, first thing, the Facebook analytics is not dependent on the pixel. It works completely fine only with your page and with your messenger bot. Like not even bot, just messenger. Yeah, those are two different products, the page and the messenger and the website. Yeah, so you have those two. You also have a product that's called a Facebook event. So let's say you have an open night once a month and you want to invite people to a special salsa and tortillas night. Yeah, and you can now measure how many people signed up for the event, how many people bought a ticket, and how many people actually showed up.
And what kind of people have been shown up?
Yes, yes. And you can also see like what age and gender groups they are in. And if you use Instagram, for example, you have an automatic, you can't do anything about it. You have an automatic retargeting list of anybody who has engaged with your business profile. You need to turn your Instagram profile into a business profile, which doesn't harm you, it just gives you more analytics. Some people would argue maybe you get a bit less reach. I don't think that's an issue under like 10,000 or 20,000 followers. Yeah? But even then, you can only ever do ads with a business profile. So I'm experimenting with that right now. My personal profile at Sufiani, yeah, which you can follow if you like to hear me how I'm running at 6:30 in the morning. And if you don't like that, don't follow my account. And I can retarget everybody who has engaged in any way, like likes and everything. Yeah, that's how you can use that area. Okay. You?
In the case of the restaurant, can I connect Google Analytics to Google My Business so that I can get sure how many people are inside my restaurant? Because maybe they have seen an ad or something.
Yeah. I wish. There is an option to connect your Google Analytics with your Google page, yeah, with the My Business page. but it more or less only adds some data to your view, because you can now see like, but I don't think it's able to correlate that to an offline event. Yeah. But let me use that as an example of how Facebook, for example, gives you the chance to use offline events. You could have let's say you have the name of the customer who came in and their zip code and when they purchased something. You put that in a spreadsheet, you upload it to Facebook, and it will try to correlate that data to the customers they targeted. Yeah? And it's quite capable of doing that. This is called offline events. Yeah, and you can use offline events for coffee cups, for restaurants, for point of sale of any kind. Yeah, you can, everything that you can't track, you can track with offline events. Yeah, that you think you can't track in a web environment. Yeah, we use this on mobile shop. Yeah, a lot. Yeah, did ads, made people sign up, but also sign up as a customer, uploaded that, saw how the conversions went. And you do not have to have 100% conversion. You never have 100% attribution anyways. You just have to have a significant amount of people who you can track, and now you can compare campaigns, campaign A to B. This is what the Cambridge Analytica guys did with the Trump campaign, for example. They just needed 5% of people to do this stupid Big Five online questionnaire. And that is so much that they can just now compare the attributes of the people who did the survey with the attributes of the people who did not. And they could make very strong correlations about their results in the Big Five psychological tests. Great idea. Bad use case. Bad use case. Yes, you had a question.
Maybe others just when they get home want to install like a Pixel and a Google goal on a certain like goal they have, like the purchase. Are there any implications having these two tracking systems on the same side? So what approach that?
Having Facebook and Google on the same side?
Will they sort out?
Yes, fine. Even like 3 or 6 Google Analytics and 4 Facebook and 700. Get the plugin called Ghostery. Yeah, it's a Chrome plugin, and visit Zalando. It's my personal inspiration list for tracking setups. Yeah, it's amazing. And it's a German company, so we can. They get through with it, all the data privacy issues. Yeah, they're a huge company and they do it. Yeah, so there you see that you can have pretty much as many pixels as you like. As a developer, you should be aware that your pixels should load after the main content for the users have loaded. Yeah, this is also something that the Google Tag Manager can help you with without having a developer involved. Yeah, because it handles it very beautifully. Okay, any last question before we wrap things up for today? Yes, Maxime?
Yeah, it's not a question, but I'm sad you didn't talk about like Hotjar, because for 101, like very, very beginner, it can be helpful at the start.
Yeah, Hotjar is another good example. Thank you for mentioning another tool that helps you to see where were people on your website. You see like a heat map, and it actually does something very beautiful that's called session recording. So you can actually see a fake video of how each user moved through the website. And there you see where people get stuck in form fields, in the navigation, are they confused? You can compare successful users with unsuccessful ones. That one. Yeah, that is a good one to have too. All right, so again, if you now think the slides are valuable, it's your chance to take a screenshot or use the handout. If you have any questions about it, feel free. I love to chat about it during lunch. We have those meetup once a month, and you're always very welcome to join. You can also add your personal recommendations to the Google Community Doc. And of course, use the Google Community Doc to see the learning resources that this community has come up with and that they like best. And the Pirate Skills team will always try to keep them in order of awesomeness. Yeah, and have it well formatted. This is how the community doc looks like, and you can contribute, and we'd really like to hear back from you and send me some comments like Michael Käferstein already did. Yeah. So if you want to go deeper but love a bit of hand-holding, you can just come to this workshop. It'll be around 350 bucks. Yeah, it's a whole day workshop where you come with your laptop and you need a website. Yeah. If not, you can use the demo account if you're, for example, not allowed to use it. But you won't leave the room until you have everything perfectly installed. You got the holy Google Trinity set up. Yeah. You got conversion goals and all your questions answered, and you got a personal dashboard for your business. Yeah. So you have a simple dashboard where you see the most relevant KPIs. If you're into that, you're very welcome to join me. Then we got this concept of the growth sprints. As you see here, these are the challenges of the people who entered the growth sprint. Yeah, that is always before this meetup. We say, come on, let's sit together between like about after the Startplatz breakfast, between 10 and 6 and just work. Nothing else. No distractions. We usually have like one breakout session where we focus on one topic, but it's optional. I don't want to take anybody's time away from work, but having mentors like Maxime and me around to help you quickly solve a problem, like, shit, we're not getting this pixel installed, but after I have this solved, I can work again on my own. Yeah. Oh, the conversion tracking is not working. Ben, can you look over my campaign? We got this email marketing tool and it doesn't seem to do what we like. We can increase your learning curve so much more, and it's the cheapest way to really spend a day there. It's just 50 euros. Yeah. And I don't even want to pitch this. We already got 105 tickets registered for this meetup. A normal good would be like 10 if we had 10 tickets now. So if you're guys into storytelling and content marketing, we're going to focus on this in December, the 5th, yeah, the day before St. Nicholas. And we're going to have another speaker. I'm going to share the story branding framework from Dan Miller, and he's going to share from his experience. He has an agency who does visual storytelling, and he's going to share with us how we all can use more impactful visuals that are simple to create to tell our stories and really build emotions. So if you want to join us for that, you're very welcome, but this is going to be packed. A packed meetup, I feel. And hopefully it's upstairs again where we have a microphone so everybody can hear me much more clear. And now, guys, we have time to connect and have some run. Thank you all for coming, guys. If you would like to connect with me, then follow this instruction. This is a simple move that you can use in your LinkedIn app. Can I have my phone back, please? If you open your LinkedIn app, there is like a room recognition feature. You need to have your Bluetooth turned on. Let me go there on LinkedIn. You go to the network feature and see find nearby. And then it starts searching for everybody in the vicinity. And there is Julia, who I'm already connected with. She is also part of the Pirate Skills team. And just keep that up for a little while we are all connecting and having a bit of rum. Is the popcorn still available or is it out?
2 or 3 are left.
2 or 3 are left. Who thought popcorn was a good idea? Then we'll do it again. Okay. About like this side of the room, the light side of the room, like the dark side did not. Maybe it was because of the thing. So feel free to connect with me any way you like. Thank you all for joining. That was amazing today. Bye-bye.